What's up you guys, it's 2Bricks, and today we're going to do a Let's Build video for how to build Slave 1. Oh, wait, hold on. Excuse me. How to build Slave 1. And obviously, given recent Star Wars media appearances of this ship, I won't say where and I won't say when, but this ship has had a lot of renewed interest among fans, and so I thought I would take today to show you how to build my Micro Fleet series editions of both Jango Fett and Boba Fett's Slave 1. Legendary bounty hunting gunships. So let's dive right in and we'll see how to build these two ships. Alright, so as ever with my Let's Build videos, these are all the parts that you'll need. This is for Boba Fett's Slave 1. Jango Fett's Slave 1 is basically the same design but with a few tweaks, so once I finish building this one, I'll show you guys the differences so you can basically follow the same steps but make the substitutions you need to make the Jango Fett one as well. Alright, so we'll make a few of the kind of sub-assemblies first. So this right here is going to be for the sides, the back side section where the back of the ship here slopes in towards the ramp. So I've just placed, take my 1x4 dark red slope here and place my two tiles, 1x2 dark red tiles on there. You could use 1x4s, but I feel like the two 1x2s worked out to be cheaper than a single 1x4, so I just went with that. Let's see, then we can build a little side kind of wing areas here. I guess those are wings. I'm not really too sure of the specifics, but you take one of these nice half heart plates here, and then you place a round jumper on there, and then on top of that you place a 1x2 dish. So that gives you that nice round shape. And then into here you place one of these Exoforce hands in the dark bluish gray. That's what's going to hold onto your wing piece. Again, not sure that it is a wing, but there you go. And then I'll take one of these hose pipe extension kind of nozzle pieces here. And then I place a 1x1 light bluish gray horizontal clip. What would you call that? I guess vertical, yeah. Onto the end of that for the wing. So that's one of those. We'll make an identical but mirrored one for the other side. So half heart with the round piece, the round jumper on there, the 1x2 dish, the Exoforce hand, that way, the hose pipe extension, and then the clip which goes onto the other side this time because, like I said, it's mirrored. So those are those parts right there. Then we have these side panels which go along the side here. Those are just a 2x3 wedge plate with the sand green tile on the top there. And that forms this part right back here for the ramp. So we make two of those. And you know, with these, because it's a tile, you just line it up in the corner here and just get it squared away like that. So that's that. Then we can make the little top section, which goes on top of the ship here. So we have a 1x3 gray plate and two dark gray or dark green 1x1 tiles on top of there. Then I can do the cannon section here, the back cannon. So we take our 1x1 clip and we place a pneumatic T-bar piece into that facing downwards. And I like to just have a little bit of the top of that sticking out just to get the guns in the right position. And then we just go ahead and place our Exoforce hands on here. And that's going to give you what you need. So those are the two guns. Those can be swiveled back and forth to target whichever targets you need. So we can go ahead and place that on top of this piece. Wait, am I correct about that? Let me just double check. Yes. We're going to go ahead and place that piece on top of here, and then underneath there we're going to place this inverted 1x3 slope. That's giving us the shape that we want for the back section there that goes above the ramp. Next we'll build the front part where we have, let's see, onto these side panel pieces I'm going to attach the 1x2 roof slope here, and then I'm going to place a 1x2 cheese wedge, in the downward configuration. So we have one going down, one going this way. We do the same on the other side. So that's going to help us form the rest of the kind of rounded base that goes up towards the front section of Slave 1, like so. All right, and then I'm going to form the windshield. This is probably the trickiest part of the build. So I'm going to take two headlight bricks, and I'm going to place one upside down into the back of this, which is sideways. And then onto the top of that, I'm going to place my slope piece here, the 1x2 slope, and that's just going to perfectly go into that shape right there. I love seeing those shapes come together. Then onto the front of that I place my black cheese wedge, and then under here I place a stud into that open hole, and that's what allows this all to attach to the back end of the ship. Then I'm going to take a dark gray 1x1 plate. I'm going to plug it into that front section to level it off. Same goes for this front section right here. All right, and then we have this little bit of front detailing right underneath the cockpit. So I'm placing a quarter round light bluish gray tile and a second one to create that rounded shape, and I'm placing those onto the dark red 1x2 plate here, and that's just going to nestle underneath the cockpit here and give us that nice shape. So next, the kind of spine of the thing. This is where it gets complicated, at least for me to remember how to do all this. So we have a 1x1 brick here with the 4 studs, and then we place our tile on the front of that, and then you have a Technic brick with the hole in it, which can just accommodate that stud, which you plug in to that open stud right there. And on top of that, you place this rounded plate. And here, we're just going to hold this in place for now. I'm going to take this modified brick with the 2 studs on either side. And on top of that, I'm going to place a rounded tile and then a 1x2 plate on top of here. And then we're going to do our 1x2. Is this correct? I believe this is correct. If it's not, I'll know in a second. We're going to do our 1x2 plate here. Then that's going to give us our ramp with the slope, the dark bluish gray 1x2 slope. We have a, is this correct? A 1x2, oh no, that wasn't correct, sorry. Let me pop that off real quick. Sorry, I don't usually take these apart and put them back together again like this. So we have our 1x2 plate again in the back here. I'm going to fill this gap in right here with a single 1x1. And then I'm going to place a trans yellow 1x1 in there as well, and that's going to give us that little kind of engine lighted detail back there. So now we can place our rounded kind of engine assembly there that we had, and place the second one on the other side of that, leaving this single empty stud. Then we place this section right here with the 3 studs in it, and just connect all these 2 parts together. And we place the other one on the other side. Oops, I'm losing my clip. We place the other one on the other side like so. And it should snap in. There we go. And then I place the cockpit. Oops, sorry. First I want to place my detail piece right here on the front, and that's just going to go in the middle of that stud right there. It's going to go into that plate. I'm going to place the cockpit behind that. And there you go. That should all line up nicely. And I'm going to place my back detail here above the ramp, and that's going to sit right on that one stud there. We have this one open tile here. We have the 1x2, which I believe goes on top of this stud. And we place that into this gap. And then we have the 1x1 tile that just finishes off that nice flat roof section on top. And we place our 2 side panel details, one there and one there. Hey, look at that, we did it. Slave 1. I remembered how to do it without looking at reference or doing multiple cuts. So there you go. So there's Slave 1 as we know it, the Boba Fett version. So let me show you really quick what the differences are. In here, obviously the color swaps are different. So we have these dark gray Exo Force hands. I used light gray just because I wanted to look newer, and because this is the first edition of the ship and then it looks like this later on. This part right here is not replaced with the sand green. This is light gray, but all the rest of the internals are exactly the same. I may have a couple of color swaps in there, but those are just for convenience. And then the main difference is just this section in here. So instead of just placing this 1x4, this piece is ideal for this shape, but it doesn't exist in the dark red. So I'm using the 1x4 traditional slope for that. And then here I'm just doing this build with a 1x1 brick, a yellow 1x1 tile or plate, and then a yellow and then a light bluish gray 1x2 plate under here, and then just completing that look, and then with a 1x1 blue plate back there. So that gives you the same kind of rough profile, but like I said, I do like the rounded one better. But that just goes into the exact same spot, just connects in there with that single stud, like so. And then you plug that in there and you get that little bit of extra yellow detail, which is reflected on Django Fett's Slave 1. And then all of these parts right here are the regular blue instead of the dark red. And then I'm replacing these two front plates up here instead of the dark bluish gray that I'm using in here. These are just regular dark blue. But everything else remains the same on it, and you can just, if you know how to build the one, you know how to build the other. So you've now seen all of the internals on that, and sorry it was a little bit messy. I was just trying to do it on the fly in a single take, but I think I got it. So I think you guys will be able to replicate this pretty easily. So there are your two slave 1s. Slave 1 plus 1 equals slave 2 or slave 11. I'm not sure. Anyway, there you go. All right, you guys, so there is your super iconic slave 1 ship. You know, obviously, we've had the ship in our lives ever since 1980, ever since we were introduced to The Empire Strikes Back, and it's been super iconic ever since then. So I'm really glad that it's making a resurgence recently, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, and if you guys want to go ahead and build this, I've included the digital file and the parts list for free. Just check the description, and you guys can leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Drop a like on the video if you guys want to see more of this kind of thing, and subscribe if you want to get to that 10,000, or sorry, if you want to help me get to that 100,000 subscriber mark, where I'm going to be building a Venator class Star Destroyer to scale with this, with my Micro Fleet series, with these tiny ships, and that's going to be a world record breaking 10-foot long Venator class Star Destroyer that has never been attempted. So yeah, if you guys are into LEGO and into Star Wars, make sure you sub and we'll get ever closer to that number. So yeah, you know, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoy your little mini desk models of your Slave 1, whichever one you choose to build, or if you do both. Yeah, and that's going to do it for today. So thank you guys again for watching, and may the Force be with you.